Welcome back to this Wolves preview. Craig, how are we doing?
I'm doing all right, mate. Thank you very much.
Good. And we are now joined by George, who is a Wolves fan. How are we doing, mate?
Apart from being a Wolves fan, very well. I'm very well. Obviously, it's not been the best start to the season, but look, a more winnable game Saturday, hopefully. So we'll have to
Right.
see how that goes. Yeah, I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling all right.
Good. Before we do actually divulge and get into this, there's about 80% of you that are not subscribed to the YouTube channel that this is out on. So please click subscribe before you listen to it. And the same on Spotify, Amazon, wherever you're actually listening to this. Follow and 5-star because it helps us out. Anyway, George, so talk to us about the start of the season so far for you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think a lot of outsiders didn't predict us to do well, but I don't think anyone predicted us to do that badly. You look at some of the opening fixtures, obviously, Man City was always a write-off, so was Newcastle. But Bournemouth and Everton, their teams you look at and you think, you've got to get points there, and we didn't get points. We weren't great. We weren't great at all. Obviously, if you watch the games individually, we played pretty badly. However, we weren't in the game. So there is positives, but if you look on Twitter, you look on X, whatever you want to call it, it's just negative. There's a lot of negativity around the club at the minute. A lot of fans aren't happy. Obviously, the season ticket prices have been high for a couple of seasons now, and we haven't really seen much. And I think a lot of the fans are sort of questioning, why am I paying a minimum of £700 to watch probably 6 wins a season? So obviously there's all that debacle. Then obviously in the summer we lost some of our best players. You lose Mateus Cunha, you lose Ait Nouri, you lose the captain Nelson Semedo, you lose the super sub Pablo Sarabia. And if you don't replace them with players who aren't Premier League ready and Premier League proven, you're probably going to struggle. And I think we all knew we were going to struggle, but I didn't think we were going to be this bad. Obviously, as I said, it's not been the easiest start, but you would like to see a bit more from the performances. There's been a lot of last season defensively, we were looking pretty sharp. But this season, it's like Agbadu, who was probably one of the best players we had last season, now cannot defend at all. So I don't know what's going on with certain players. Pereira, obviously, I still trust and I still back, but fans have started to turn on him. Naturally, obviously, when you're performing poorly, fans will turn on the manager. But I'd like to stress that it's not his fault; it's the ownership, and that's been the case for years. So I don't know what's going to happen. Is going down potentially a good thing to give us that reset and potentially get the owners out? That could be a shout. But if we're going to stay up, we need to add some quality to this side because yes, it's a solid team. Yes, they can battle hard, but there is no quality whatsoever.
Not even in the new signings that you've made. There's no.
Well,
so one particular one that I was looking at was that is it John Arias?
John Arias,
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's one that Leeds were looking at early on, or they were linked to early on in the window. So I'm interested in how good he is.
Well, we haven't seen too much. I'd say he's a very neat and tidy player. Keeps hold of the ball well. Protects the ball nicely. Very skillful. But the first thing is we're not actually playing on his right side, so he's meant to play. Apparently, I mean, I've always stressed that I'm a passionate fan. I go to the games, I get my reaction at the games. I'm not your scouting kind of fan. I'm not your tactic kind of fan. So I didn't know much about him going in. However, I'd seen him playing the Club World Cup. Did look very promising. Pre-season looked very good. Scored a goal. But we're not playing him on the right side. He's only started 2 games, I think. I think against Bournemouth he got a start and he was kind of the man shipped off after we got a red card. So we haven't seen too much of him. But I think out of the attacking signings we made, I think Thayer Lopez, the young Spanish lad, has been a lot more impressive than him. But he's been okay, but I need to see more from him.
Yeah.
Everton, he had a good chance and it's like poor decision making. So I'm not too sure yet. But he looks decent. There's definitely a player there. So you got to remember, we're 4 games in. And obviously we lose on Saturday, it's going to be a massive panic, but we're still only 4 games in. Anything could happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we've said that before, and you just touched upon it there with the fan base. Our fan base at the moment, it's always gone ho. As soon as we lose a game, that's it. Farker out, get rid of Farker, or if we draw as well. But last game against Fulham, we lost in the last minute, and it was a bit like, yeah, okay, no team deserved to win that game. It was a tough game, but that wasn't on Farker. Like the tactics we set up with were the correct ones. Held back and tried not to concede. Unfortunately, it was an own goal, and then straight away the board didn't back in. We need to get rid of the board. We need to get rid of the manager, and it's just have a bit of patience. Like these things take time, like, especially when you're a newly promoted side in the Premier League. I mean, you've been in there for a few years, and like you said, you lose 3, 4 of your best players, your captain as well. It's a transitional period. I mean, you did well to keep hold of Larson, who I am a big fan of, your striker. I mean, has he scored this season yet or not?
Scored a couple in the Carabao Cup, but none in the league yet. But he's been injured for the last 2 games, so I'm not even sure if he'll be available for Saturday. So that might help you guys out. Yeah.
Good. I was literally just about to touch upon your injuries. Okay, so you just said that Larson could be out. Any other like of note that could be out there, like your normal starting 11?
As I said, no one really apart from Larson, who, I mean, a lot of people, he was obviously heavily linked with Newcastle, and obviously you say, like, we did well to keep him. We'd only just signed him, really, on a permanent, so it kind of turned into a big debacle about, we've done well to keep him, but he should have never really been for sale. There was rumours that he was only on about 15 grand a week, but then it's come out he's actually on 75 grand. So that wasn't, but I know, that's why you don't believe what you see on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he could be out. I'm not so sure what's going to happen. I know it seemed like a minor injury at the time. Everyone was saying he's refusing to play. So in a way, I was kind of glad he was out for Newcastle, so fans kind of get off his back, because people were saying against Everton he's refusing to play. But I think he could be out. No other injuries to report, really. Obviously, it's early in the season. So I think you're looking at a fully fit team. I can't imagine there'll be any changes to the system or anything like that. So, yeah, as I said, hopefully he's back. But we do have another striker we can play. And obviously, there's Hwang as well, who, well, he's not great, but I feel like Leeds are the type of team he scores against, especially as he has been linked with you in the past. He can't do much, but he can score, that boy. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, we're having a problem scoring at the minute though, so it's going to be a weird game to watch. It's one of those, isn't it, where you think no team's scored a goal in open play. You haven't scored a goal at all, have you? Apart from
No, we scored 2. Yeah. We got 2 against Everton.
Yeah, so it's like we haven't scored a goal in open play. Oh yeah, it's not a goal. You've lost all 4 your opening games. So it's like, right, this is Leeds fans are looking at this game going, right, we need 3 points here. Like, this is a 3-point game. But then it's also, on the flip side of that, is Wolves are looking for their first win. And this is where Leeds are like, do a Leeds. And we could probably dominate that game for 89 minutes, and then we'll again concede a last-minute goal to, something or another. It's one of those games where you think it could be a tight game, but it could be a massively open game as well.
Yeah, well, I think, I know your fans aren't necessarily happy, and I feel like that's down to style of play. Obviously, when you are playing poor football, but points are on the board, it's still sometimes not good enough, and obviously, but I don't think you guys have actually started too badly. I mean, looking at Everton, were unbelievable against us, so yes, you got them at a good time, probably played them before Grealish had really bedded in, everything like that, but you can only play who you're up against, so that was a really good win. You get a draw with Newcastle, so they're 2 teams that we've lost to. You've gained 4 points out of that, and obviously, naturally, we're going to be relegation rivals. We're probably, us and Brentford, maybe West Ham, I'd probably say the weakest of the 17 teams that have been up there for a while. So, you're looking at Wolves, you're looking at Leeds, like, you guys have got 4 points out of games, we got nothing. So, you look at it like that, I think you guys have started quite well. And to be honest, I had you guys finishing bottom of the table. I didn't believe in the signings. I wasn't sure about Farker, to be honest. But, at the end of the day, you're putting up a decent fight. Like I said, 4 points is better than none, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we think a bit different to, like, the what's the word? The, majority of, like, what you see online from Leeds fans. Because, we're Farker fans. Like, with the way Farker's set up this team, like, what he's doing, especially, like, I believe that if he is given the chance with the right players, like, I still think we need a few more players, and I think if he's got the right players, he'll do well. He's a good manager, just like he did in the Championship. You don't score like 100 goals in the Championship and get 100 points. Well, I mean, it was just short of 100 goals, but you don't do that in the Championship and you're not a good manager, if that makes sense. Yeah, he had the best team probably in the Championship, but if you've got one of the best teams in the Premier League, the way that you play is what the manager does and gets the players playing. He's going to do the same kind of thing. Like I think it will come good if he's given the time. But yeah, I mean, I think our players just need to kick into gear going forward because it's got them solid defensively and battling. We just got no like attacking threat really at the minute.
No end product.
Yeah, but I mean the way that I see it is these players are like Okafor. He's just coming back from an injury. He's got to get up to speed. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, what a striker if he can get fit and stay fit. We've got the basis of a good forward line if we can get him fit. But the way that I look at it is, if we go 1-0 down, I don't see where we're going to come back. Whereas in the Championship, we go 1-0 down. There's confidence we're going to win still.
It's such a huge jump, isn't it? I mean, the Championship, like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say by any means it's a weak division. Like, it's in terms of like physicality, it's a very, very strong division. But in terms of the jumper quality, like just like everything across the field. I mean, you look at Burnley last season, like obviously very strong team in the Championship. They just look so out of the depth in the Premier League. Yes, they've done okay, but like the football they're playing, I don't think it's sustainable. Sunderland have basically gone, right, our team is nowhere near good enough. We're going to sign another one, which you got to respect it. Will it work? At the moment, it is working. I don't know how sustainable it is. They've had very favourable fixtures. But yeah, it's just it's a massive jump. And I think any of the 3 promoted teams would do well to stay up this season. But I think this year's probably the year to do it. Obviously, Brentford and Wolves and West Ham, as I said earlier, looking quite weak compared to last season.
Yeah, I think there's a gap, don't you, Mike? That there's a gap in between Championship and Premier League that's enough for another league, which is going to be higher quality than Championship, but maybe a little less quality than the Premier League. Because I think some teams like us and Burnley coming up last year, too good for the Championship, but probably. If they kept the team as it was that came up and didn't buy anyone, it's probably not good enough for the Premier League, but it's too good for the Championship. So there's that middle. I think there's.
No, I know what you mean, and then you don't want to be in that name tag of being a yo-yo club like Norwich were a few seasons back, and it's that. Yes, you've got to get it right when you come up, and yes, you can do what, say, Forest done, for example, spend buying 100 players, get a -3 deduction, stay up because of it. And then other teams go down, or Everton overspending what they can just to stay in the league. And it's then the teams that stick to the financial fair play get punished for it, and they can't improve their squads, which then go down. So I understand where you're coming from on that. Everyone wants to be in the Prem, and I don't think you can then just stick in a middle league between the two, because
I'm just saying there's like a space in the middle where
teams that are
teams that
it's almost like if the Super League had have happened, and let's say like the 6 that went in the Super League, we're probably like, I don't know, Leeds, Sunderland, Burnley, Ipswich, Leicester, Southampton, for example. You stuck them in the Prem. It's like, well, that would probably be obviously a lot more competitive. I personally wouldn't mind that. The Super League, they can have their VAR, they can have their their FFP and the PSR, they can have that in the Super League. Let us let all the other boys fight out competitively, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting it, like trying to get it. That it's like it'd be a lot more competitive Premier League, wouldn't it, if you just got rid of that top 6 that just dominate it all every season, because you'll get like your odd season where like Forest that get up there, they couldn't keep up in that top 3, so they ended up like a bit lower down. I mean, still got a fantastic finish last season, but they're signing a load of players again this season to try and compete more. Obviously, they're going to compete with more games with being in Europe now, but it's like, how long can they keep that up for? Because they're going to have to spend and become a regular European team to get anywhere near that top, that top bit. Because they will get dragged down. Otherwise, they will get dragged down again eventually. Like Wolves, you did so well when you first, for your first few seasons in the Premier League, and eventually you've, as soon as you've got players like Aït-Nouri, Semenyo, what's the other one?
Cunha.
Yeah, once you've got players like that, and they've done it for one season, then they've done it for another season, and it's like, right, they're consistently good in the Premier League. Big boys are just going to go, right, we'll have them.
Oh, 100%. It's hard to get the balance right. Like, you've got to, I suppose you almost got to sell on the project. I mean, I'm trying to think of an example of a team that kind of almost can compete. I mean, obviously, Mr. Man is doing what he's done at Forest, does kind of set a precedent. Is it ethical? I don't know. But you got to kind of respect it because he's almost stand up to the Big Six cartel, really.
Wow.
But as I said, like, regardless of FFP, regardless of PSR, our ownership's not in a good state. And, at the end of the day, for us, it's either do we spend another year hovering above relegation and just being miserable and we'll have like a good patch for a few months. Or, I don't know, do we go down, reset, have a good year in the Championship, maybe come up, fresh new squad? I don't know what happens, but for me, I don't know. We've been putting off getting relegated for so long. If it does happen, then it's almost like we deserve it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Do you think that does your ground, like the fans, have a lot to play in that? Like, as in, for example, like when Leeds got relegated, it was all the turmoil behind the scenes. With the owners, everything all went down. The fans wanted them out. The players on the pitch weren't performing, so the fans are on their back. And when your fans are on your back, especially at home, it's a tough place to be. Away teams don't like coming to Elland Road when it's on fire because it's an hostile place. Being at home, the players who play for Leeds, you've got to be a certain type of player to handle it because once the fans are on your back and they turn on you, that's it. It's difficult.
It's a great atmosphere.
Yeah,
I really like it.
Is it the same that's happening? Would it be fair to say it's the same as happening at Wolves now?
I think certain players do get stick. Obviously, I mentioned Hwang earlier. There's Bellegarde, he gets a lot of stick as well. Like, for me, I just think it's not their fault they're not good enough. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I know that these players aren't good enough for the Premier League, really. It's not their fault. Like, we got this one lad called Manetzi, signed him for about 10, 15 million. I'm not sure how. I mean, he's an athlete. He's not a footballer. And I just think, like, people get on his back, and I'm just like, it's not his fault he's not good enough. He tries his best. So this is the one thing I will say. All the players do put in 100%. So it's hard. It's hard to knock them, really. But the problem is, when you're not good enough, and you know they're not good enough, whose fault is it? Is it really the players when they just were never good enough? If a Premier League club comes in and, like, we want you to play for you, we want you to play in this league, you're not going to be like, no, are you?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not their fault. It's just the way their club's been run. It's been a downward regression, and that's what happens, unfortunately. But there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Craig just said Aronson, and that's a bit like Aronson for us, really. Runs around, does like headless chicken. See, I don't mind him. I don't mind Aronson, whereas a lot of fans are like, why is he playing? He's not good enough. He can't play right wing. He can't play attacking. He just can't play, basically. But when the board goes out and spend like 20, 30 million on him, whose fault's that? So,
yeah.
But out of everyone at Leeds, who are you most worried about that could cause you like trouble? Like, what areas are you the weakest?
I mean, it's looking like centre backs. I mean, I always sort of go on about Calvert-Lewin now. I really don't rate him, so just my luck for him to score. Hopefully. I've always been to be honest, like a lot of your newer players. I don't really know many new signings. Obviously, Dan James has always been a player I've rated. I know he's got a bit of pace about him, but I was looking at it. It doesn't even look like he starts. Is it Tanaka, your midfielder?
Yeah.
He's probably your best player, isn't he? So probably one of them three, I'd say. As I'm not too familiar with your squad. I mean, I can't imagine you know many of our squad either because a lot of our squad is sort of unknown players. Like, if you look at like Wolves and the shirt sales now, back in the day you had Adama Traore, Raul Jimenez, Ruben Neves, João Moutinho. The list just goes on and on and on. Whereas like now it's like you might get a Gomez out, but our best selling shirt this season was Diogo Jota, obviously for good reason. But like the same time, like it just shows kind of like there's no real like big name player at the club anymore, which is a real shame. But yeah, I suppose we were spoiled a few years ago.
So you think
Yeah, you are.
You think you're in real trouble now then this season?
I mean, as I said, I don't like to be too negative. We've had a good run. It's getting to the point now where it's almost like, as I said before, maybe we do need that reset. And how long can it keep going on of just hovering above relegation every season, being tipped to go down, and then we just about stay up? I am worried. I don't really see where the goals are coming from. I think for a team that don't score many goals, we make too many mistakes. I think if we cut certain players need dropping. I do trust the manager, but there is certain players I feel like he almost feels like he has to play. I don't really understand some of the tactics a lot of the time, but I'm purely backing the manager just out of principle of I don't want to see another manager sacked under this ownership because it's just a very aggressive cycle, and I'm not having it. So yeah, I am worried, but as a Wolves fan, I'm going to back us to stay up. I have no logic, I have no reasoning why we will, but we will because I'm a Wolves fan. I'm going to back my team.
Yeah. That makes sense. One thing I want to know though is what kind of, because I'll be honest, I've not watched much of Wolves this season, but it's what style of play do they bring? Like, is it for the fans? Is it like a problem the way that they play?
It's a back five. With I suppose you could argue like the wing backs probably two of our most exciting players. Hugo Bueno, you might have heard of, and then there's that young lad Rodrigo Gomez. Both very young, sort of exciting players. Quick, skillful, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just a case of we've signed another striker. So whether he played two up front last week, whether he plays Larson and the new guy up front who did score a lot of goals in Belgium last year, we'll have to see. Potentially be a lot of goals, but it's very like he said he likes tall, quick, and aggressive players. So it's very like physical, fast, powerful kind of thing. There's not much ball quality there. We're not playing like amazing football, but and obviously the results aren't showing for it either. But yeah, I mean, I suppose I wouldn't say it's terrible to watch. Like first 20 minutes against Newcastle the other day were very good, but then we let them into the game. You don't take your chances against a team like Newcastle, you will lose the game. It's as simple as so.
Well, we didn't, and we didn't lose, but anyway, can't win them.
Didn't make any chances.
We had a few chances. I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a shot that keeper saved. I think that was probably like the best chance, maybe, or Statch's one. But
we could have won that game. Like there were chances that we could have won that game, but very few. You'd have to be clinical to do it, but yeah.
I feel like the way you guys are treating it is probably better. We're trying to sort of play games to our advantage, whereas you guys are just like, right, we'll just get 11 men behind the ball and hope for the best. But
honestly, it's a different contrast to last season. Whereas last season it was just attack, score two goals to just sit back and pass it around. Whereas this, it's like more compact. Yes, keeping the ball, but not letting the other team really have a shot, basically, which is good. But it's not pretty on the eyes in that sense. But then, as long as you're picking up points, that's all that matters. So,
you need to pick up 3.
So on this game, then, Craig, I'll go to you first. What is your score prediction, quickly?
It's a tough one, this one, because they're both going to be looking for wins. Like Wolves will need the first win; they need points on the board, and I think at home they're going to go for it rather than be more conservative, being if they were away from home. So I can see it being something like 2-1.
2
Leeds. I'm going to go for Leeds.
Good.
You got to back your team. You got to back your team.
George, what are you going for, mate?
Like it's almost like if we don't win, it's like I don't know. If we don't win, it's like it's going to be absolutely toxic. And to be fair, like we do tend to win when we need to. So I'm going to back the boys. 2-0 Wolves. As I said, I can't see you. As you said, if we go 1-0 up, you won't score. I think clean sheet. Few changes to the system. Strand Larson back. It's making me delirious talking about a win. That's what it is. Strand Larson be back. Yeah, 2-0.
In fact, hold on. I'm going to change back to 1-0 because if we do score, we'll not concede.
Yeah, I think that. I think we might struggle to get.
So whoever scores basically doesn't concede. Yeah, that's fine. See, my issue is last season against No, not last season. Season 4 against Southampton. I was all confident that we were going to win that game. Southampton were on an awful run and then turned us over. I just have a feeling like you lot, yes, we spoke about it beforehand with your 11 games out winning, regardless if it's pre-season or not. It's just typical Leeds that will just go and lose and get rolled over. I'm still going to back Leeds to win. I'm going to say 2-0. Where the goals are going to come from, I don't know. Hopefully Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Pirro, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's the way that I see it, though. That's the way that I'm looking at it. Is Wolves haven't won yet, and this is what Leeds do. They gift people like
Always,
that. They break that curse of, this team hasn't won for a while.
Charity FC.
Yeah, it's like we'll just give it them.
We are also Charity FC, so I think it'll be an interesting game because both teams are quite physical, aren't they? So
yeah, hopefully it'll change. We'll get a winning run again.
Yes, hopefully. Right, before we do leave it, I'm going to do a quick trivia question for George and Craig, and also in the comments. If they don't get it, let me know the answers. Right, so this is from fbref.com. 18 players have played for both sides. George, seeing your guess, you can go first. Whether you want to guess first, or hand it over to Craig.
What are we doing? Like one each, or are we going to like back?
And then if you don't get it right, the other person has to then have the chance to say the name, and if they don't get it, it's a draw or they win.
I know the name and I can't think.
I've got the list. In front of me. Like I said, this is FB Ref.
The only one I can think of for sure is Barry Douglas.
Barry Douglas is correct.
That's what I had in my head.
Yeah.
Right, Craig, over to you. This might be a time limit one as well.
It might be a time limit one. Oh my god, that's the one I had in my head. Now I've got to rethink.
Can't think of any more.
Wolves.
Have I stumped you already?
I had Barry Douglas, and I've got to think again. It's going to take too long for me to think about this.
I'll give you another 15 seconds.
I have no chance in 15 seconds.
Not even to get one name that's played for Wolves and Leeds.
Is there many recognisable ones? Like, is there some that are obvious?
Yes.
Elder Costa.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Right. Back over to you, George. I thought this was going to be easier than harder, but it seems I've stumped you already.
We've been in like different leagues for so many years.
Yeah, I only had Barry Douglas in my head at the beginning, and I couldn't. And then
is this all time or modern?
So this is the earliest player was from 1994 to 97 from your team, Wolves, and then he joined Leeds in 2004 to 2005, all the way up to 2017, which was Barry Douglas.
There's definitely some obvious ones, but I'm usually really good at this, but I generally can't think. I'm going to say Stearman, maybe?
Stearman?
Richard Stearman?
That is not on my list, no.
I didn't think it was. I'm just trying to think of names. I'm stumped. I mean, how many obvious ones are there?
I mean, there is a fair few. There's definitely a goalkeeper, a winger, two strikers I can see, another striker. Funny enough, there was a left back that me and Craig were talking about last Thursday on here. Oh, and a very, very well-known Irish striker.
Robbie Keane.
Yes.
Was left back
yes, he
Scott
did.
Goalborn?
Pardon?
Was left back Scott Goalborn?
No.
Did Jake Livermore ever play for Wolves?
No, he's baggies.
Right, so definitely in the comments, guys, let me know how many players you can name.
At least I got Robbie
without
Keane.
looking, because these two are absolutely pathetic.
I forgot Robbie Keane had played for Wolves, to be honest.
Right.
This is the thing. I know who played for Wolves. I don't know who played for Leeds. And also, I'm I'm only 23 as well. It's like 1990s. That's not really my era.
Right, goalkeeper Andy Lonergan.
Oh, come
Then
on.
you've
I'm never
got-
going to get that.
Then you've got Danny Graham, Jermaine Pennant,
Jermaine
I didn't even know
Pennant.
Jermaine Pennant played for Wolves.
He only played for
Andy
like 6 months.
Andy Keogh, sorry,
Yeah, see, these are all players that I don't.
Nathan Blake.
Oh, come on. That's like when I was about 2 years old.
So, like I said, these two are absolutely useless at this trivia game. We may try it next week, or we may not.
Like I thought you were talking about players that had played like like Barry Douglas and Elder Costa that played like a good amount of games for each team, not someone that played an handful.
I mean, you have got
I'm pretty
Sam.
sure
You got
Jermaine
Sam
Pennant played.
I was
Vokes.
going to say Sam
Like,
Vokes,
three
yeah,
guys,
Sam
but I'm
Vokes.
Big
But
Brother, pretty sure.
Danny Graham played 1 season for Wolves and 1 for Leeds, but then he only played 5 matches for Wolves and 3 for Leeds.
I feel like it's half a season.
So I have kind of stumped you both on this question, but
Yeah.
hey,
Sam Vokes,
it's just a little bit of fun that
If
you
this
both
was Wolves
failed
Man
at. So
United,
thanks for that.
I would have won.
You did, yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
is Elder Costa and Barry Douglas have been the most recent then?
Yeah. And then you've got that,
And that was years ago. So
Bothwick Jackson, Cameron Bothwick Jackson.
Oh yeah, forgot
Yeah.
about him. But as I said, he played what 3 games for us, something like that.
yeah,
He
that's
played
the thing.
7.
I forget about them when they've only played a couple of games.
He played 7 games for Wolves, 6 for Leeds, in a combined total of 1,000 minutes and 50.
Mate, I forgot you were even a footballer. So
Yeah, so you both failed. George, thank you for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Craig, thanks for joining as always, and we will leave it there. George, before I do leave it, where can everybody find you?
Well, so I'm previously known as George Talks Wolves, but I've had a rebrand to George Loves Wolves, but I'm going to change it to back to George Talks Wolves. So it'll be one of them two, only on TikTok. I am on YouTube. I don't really upload, but TikTok's the main one. Obviously, feel free to subscribe to me on YouTube and Instagram, but George Loves Wolves on TikTok. Great content. Unbelievable, if I don't say so myself.
It's not too bad. It's not too shabby.
In fact, message Mike with your things, and we'll tag you in everything so that it's easy.
No worries.
We'll
Beautiful.
get it out there.
Thank you very much, boys.
Guys, thanks for listening. Leeds.
Wolves.